All right, tutors, welcome. This is your complete guide to absolutely nailing the first session for the SWE4304 databases module. We're going to walk through a step-by-step plan that's really designed to kick off the term with a ton of energy and clarity, making sure your students are hooked and ready to go right from day one.
So let's start with your hook. You got to grab their attention right away. And this quote, "Data is the new oil," is perfect for that. It's right there in the lecture materials for you. Use it at the very beginning to frame why this subject is just so incredibly important in the world today. It's a simple but super powerful way to set the stage. Okay, so here's our game plan for the session, broken down into 5 really clear steps. We'll start with the essentials, the welcomes and module details. Then we'll get into the exciting stuff, the why, by exploring careers. After that, it's all about getting hands-on with some activities, and we'll finish up with a quick quiz just to make sure everything landed. First up, setting the stage for success. Your main job here is to create a really welcoming and open environment. Introduce yourself, maybe share a fun fact, get to know the students a bit, and then make the goals for the session totally crystal clear right from the get-go. So these are the key things we want students to walk away with. The main goal is to get all the admin stuff out of the way, the module guide, the assessments, and just make sure everybody knows where to find the key resources online. From there, we'll jump into actually applying what they've learned. Next, it's time to deliver the key info. This part is all about walking students through the module's most important documents, the guide and the assessments. We want to give them that clear bird's eye view of what the whole term is going to look like. Now, this slide lays out a very specific and really effective sequence. You'll want to follow this pattern. First, you introduce a document, like the module guide, and then boom, you immediately play the video that goes with it. You'll do the exact same thing for Assessment 1 and Assessment 2. It's this introduce, then watch rhythm that really helps the information sink in. Okay, this is a really crucial moment. You have to explain why you're showing them assessments in week 1. You should directly reassure your students. You can say something like, "Hey, listen, this is not meant to overwhelm you. You don't need to get every single detail right now. The whole point is just to give them a roadmap so they know what's coming." It's all about managing those expectations and heading off any anxiety before it even starts. All right, so once the admin stuff is out of the way, it's time to get them motivated. This next section is all about bridging that gap between what they're learning in the classroom and what's happening in the real world. We're going to explore what a career in databases actually looks like. And to make that transition really smooth, just pose this exact question to the class. It's the perfect way to shift their thinking from the what of the module to the why. The real, tangible jobs and opportunities that are out there. Now, this is where it gets interactive. Point them to that first link, the article on Indeed.com. Their task is to just explore it and see how many different job titles they can find in the database field. They'll probably be surprised by the huge range of possibilities, everything from administrators and analysts to data scientists and software engineers. For the next step, have them click on the job site link. This is where they get to analyze a real job posting for a junior database administrator. It makes it so much more tangible. Tell them to look for the specific skills and technologies that employers are asking for right now. Things like SQL, Oracle, and cloud platforms like AWS. This is how you directly connect what you're teaching to a future paycheck. Okay, so after that deep dive into careers, it's time to bring it all back home. This is where you're going to lead a few short, structured activities that will help the students process and consolidate everything they've just taken in. This slide is basically your checklist for the active learning part of the session. Guide your students through it step by step. First, get them to check out the Dream Home case study. Then, break them into groups to discuss it, along with what they found out about jobs. And finally, give them a few quiet minutes for personal reflection. This is a great time to suggest they use something like OneNote to jot down key dates and resources. And now for the final wrap-up. We're on the home stretch. The goal here is simple. Just make sure every single student has been able to access the main resources and has a good basic handle on what this module is all about before they leave for the day. The very last thing you'll do is point them to this quick 5-question quiz on the portal. Now, you have to stress this. This is not for a grade. It's a super low-stakes check for just 2 things. 1, that they can actually get onto the learning platform, and 2, that they've picked up on the most important bits of info from the session. That's a wrap on the guide. If you follow this structure, you won't just cover all the necessary information, you'll also build a really engaging and supportive classroom from the very first day. You are all set to lead a fantastic introductory session. Good luck.